Hi and welcome to my place. Today I want to show you how to turn an ordinary old everyday cruddy old vase like this into something that looks like this. Doesn't this look like it's come out of a French barnyard? I love it, or a homestead. Now basically the process is, well in fact before we go any further, if you really wanted to know what this was, can you see that there? This was an old chipped plastic jug which I've painted using a really great technique and then put the crackle over the top of it. But I just love the thought that I could recycle that horrible old thing, even this glass here, I can turn into something a little bit better. But this is what we're doing today, and it's really quick and easy to do. Let me run through it with you. These are the materials that you need. You need some gesso, and that's the black that I'm using. You also need some Crackle Medium, which is what this stuff here is, and it's like a gum, so that when you put your base coat on and then put a layer of that on, let that dry, and then put a contrasting colour over the top of it. This stuff here, it's like sort of like the gumminess sort of like stretches and breaks the paint up so you get that lovely crackled effect. Right, the first thing that you need to do is to get your paintbrush, and I'll use this dirty old paintbrush here, and this stuff here, this gesso, or gesso, whatever you like to call it. Before I go any further, do you know what I'm going to do? I think that I should give it a wee wipe down. This has been lying in the shed for years. Remember when this sort of glass was all very sort of like cool and groovy? Yuck. Thank goodness times have moved on. Okay, once that's all clean, it's just a matter of applying one nice thick even coating of this all over the exterior of your vase. Now the great thing about this is you can use it on plastic, paper, wood, you can put it onto canvases, anything that you need to cover, or to put a good base colour on. And the thing about this is it's got these like little wee fine gritty bits of sand, so that once it sticks on there, it's sort of like a ramrod. It's fantastic. Okay, once you've done that, you need to allow that to dry and make sure that all of your layers have been covered. Right, let me just get rid of that. From there, once that's dry, it's now a matter of, let me just get rid of this so that I don't have a mess. The next thing is, so that needs completely dry. Then using one of the Crackle Mediums, there's lots on the market that you can use. Yuck, I've got paint all over me now. I might just get rid of that because I don't want that. We should have been out in the garden shed doing this. Okay, the next thing is to apply a nice fine layer of the Crackle Medium over the top. Now the thicker you put it on, the fatter and rougher the cracks are going to be. So the finer the crack's going to be. So lots rough crackle, a thin layer, thin crackle lines. Okay, from there, the next thing to do is, and around this side I've already got a half that's done, and you'll know when it's ready because it'll be sort of like a little bit tacky, just like that. You can see where I've put that shine on there, as opposed to, yeah, see that there, that's the coat I've just put on. That's the coat I put on just a wee while ago. Then getting this paintbrush here, getting my contrasting colour. Now this hopefully will work, but it depends on how warm your environment is. But now when you put this on, you have to be really careful that you don't work it over and over and over. Now if you do it in fine lines like that, what you will find is it'll, see how it's starting to slow, it takes a wee, if it's warmer it will go faster, and you'll see how it's all starting to distress now. The thing that you've got to be careful of is you cannot overwork it. So once it's on, you have to leave it. So if you don't get one great big sweep, don't worry about it, but it's that sort of lovely sort of like cracked effect that makes your work look really fantastic. Right, because I'm up to speed and got myself all sorted out here, I've already done one, and we'll get rid of that because I don't want that. And I can explain further to you what I was meaning. Now in here, that was a lot of paint, and see how I've got those really rough, wide, distressed crackling. And then down here, That bit there was the fine effect that I got. So that just needs to dry. And the other thing is a wee tip. You're not supposed to know how to do, you're not supposed to be telling you this, but sometimes what I do is I put it into a really warm oven, like about 120, just put it in for a few minutes and then take it out. Okay, so from there, and then around here, this is where I've missed it out. See how it's just sort of like little wee bits of crackling in there? So it doesn't, look, for something like this, it doesn't really matter. Right, from there, the next thing to do is to, get rid of that paintbrush, is to apply some of the texturing like I've got on here. Now that there was achieved with paper serviettes, and when you do, what you do with that is, once you've got your napkin, like I've got here, what I do is I iron it to get rid of the wrinkles, and what you'll find is that those two layers will come away quite easily because we don't actually want that. We just want that printed visual there. So that just gets ripped off like that, and then you need to cut all of those little pieces out, which is what I have done over here. Now, I need to go back just a little bit further because I showed you how to do this quite some months ago, but that was the same technique of using the tissue and it was put onto the canvas. So once you've got this initial process in your head, there's lots and lots of things, of applications that you can apply this to, and I think to the jug's a really lovely way of approaching it. Right, now into here I've got some watery PVA glue, and it's like half PVA glue, half water. Now what we're going to do is just to paint the surface like so, and then what you're going to do is you're going to get your napkin and then very, very, very gently just wipe that over the surface like I've done there and get rid of all of those wrinkles so that that now looks like it's been fused into there. And it's just a matter of, and work in small, small, small areas. From there, I want another bit, so I'll bring that bit onto there, and then just, now if you get any little wrinkles in it, don't worry about it, because what's actually going to happen is you're going to lose those anyway, because they will go into the fine crackle of the, it'll just look like the whole thing's been crackled. Now to overlap, it's just a process of a little bit more glue and then just applying that over the top. So you can put on as many layers as you want. So you just continue around until that's all but covered, or you've got the design on there that you want. And then once that's done and it's completely dry, you then need to put over that some polygloss or some spray or some varnish. Now with this because everything is water-based, and because oh goodness me, get off there. Because everything is water-based, I'm actually going to apply a layer of this over the top. And this will just, you need to do this because you need to protect your work, because that crackle, it isn't strong at this stage. So you just put your varnish over the top, and then you will probably need 2 to 3 layers of varnish over the top of that. Now, another day we'll come back to putting over an enamel, an enamel over that, and I'll show you the glosses and what happens. I hope you've enjoyed that, but that, I think, is a fantastic way of turning cruddy old bit of chipped old plastic that would, I think I'd put too much water, hot water into it, and it's all cracked there, but it's great utilisation and really wonderful way of recycling. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that you will have a go at it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you another day.